When did you retire?
What year are we now? 19 what?
2016.
2016. I retired, I think, in 2013. I haven't been retired all that time, about 3 years ago. It's about it, I think, yeah, as far as I can remember. You retire when you're, what age are you? Oh, I can't remember now. I know what I am now, but I can't. I think you would have to retire at 52, I think. Anyway, it was a few years ago I retired.
And how old are you now, Betty?
Pretty ancient. Well, I was, oh gosh, how old am I now? I think I'm 94, something like that. I think I am.
Over the last 4 years, Betty's memory has deteriorated. She's now has short-term memory loss, but by coming into the centre, she's now very familiar, and that familiarity gives her security. We have so many resources in this centre that actually we can wrap ourselves around Betty. So by Betty coming in as regularly as she does, means that actually she can stay at home longer, more independently, for a longer period of time.
The war was on when I left school, so I thought I'd join the army for the duration of the war, which I did. And I'm enjoying it so much, I stayed on because it was interesting and fun, and I travel all over the world. I've been to Palestine, in the Far East, in Singapore and Hong Kong. I did a lot of sailing. The lakes are there, and we did a lot of sailing on the lakes all the time. And I loved that. Because then I went to Egypt, to Cairo, and I was there for 3 years. I had a lovely room right on the Nile, looking out down onto the Nile. I mean, my window dropped straight down to the Nile. You see, there was my window. I opened it, and it dropped straight down. And when the big boats came down the Nile, as they did, the top of the mast would come in through the window.
For women in the forces to become a colonel would have been incredibly difficult, incredibly difficult. Betty commands respect. She has that demeanour, and I think it's because she gives respect. Betty is somebody who you feel is actually listening to you, she cares about you, and you want to get involved with her, you want to do your best for her. What I really love about Betty is her optimism. It's so contagious, it's fantastic, and she spreads it around the centre. A lot of our other members gravitate towards Betty because she's just very engaging.
What do you like about life, and what is active and positive about life that you can still continue to take part in? It'd be awfully easy to sit back and do nothing, but I can't think anything more dull than that.
The majority of our members want to remain at home, are very fiercely independent. It's very important for us to enable people to stay at home safely. That's why we're focusing on having a bigger community presence. We want to support people in their own home, and by setting up community hubs means that we're able to tap into local resources to help people to stay at home.
In the army, to begin with, I was a driver. I used to drive a lot, and then I began to realise that my long-term vision wasn't very good, and I was getting worried about it, and so I had to give up driving. It was the first thing I did. And then I began to realise my sight was going because I couldn't read, and I love reading. I have to have talking books now. Used to read a great deal. It happens as you get older, something goes, and it means my eyes.
Betty presents more with short-term memory loss. And when you combine that with sight loss, it can be very frustrating. You can get disorientated, you can get confused, and you tend to feel that you're not in control.
I can remember the past, all right, but certain events I take part in, I can't remember awfully well. Well, memories, are selective. They choose things that you want to remember, and you do remember it up here somewhere.
What we're very aware of is that an increasing number of members who are coming into the charity have a dementia-type symptom, which could be short-term memory loss, confusion, disorientation. And we're very clear that given the fact that we're going to be doubling the number of members coming through over the next 5 years, we need to position ourselves for the future. We need to understand more about dementia-type symptoms and how we can support our members with that combined sight loss.